8, 4 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm counting. I'm going to get you out of here on time, I promise. What's amazing about this trend is that I didn't put it first. It took me to trend 8 to get to this. And we've talked about some of it already, and you're going to hear a lot more about it. Just know that I'm very practical about this, just from a research leadership perspective. I'm really excited about the capabilities of this. I use it, in my own life beyond just text. I use it in music, I use it in other art and that kind of thing as a way of generating interesting ideas. But what's happening with the space is that, of course, it's being used to generate things in multiple modalities. This is where I'm finding, as I talk to clients, that the real value sits. So in the challenge that Mary and Don gave you this morning about the game-changing AI, not as much of that is going to come from text as it's going to come from other types of data. Blueprints, molecules, the stuff that's sort of core to what you do. We talk about Bloomberg a fair amount. What they did is they created a symbolic representation of financial language. I have a client that's using it to create computable contracts in the insurance business. And so think about beyond just sort of, let me just say it this way, because I've got to go faster. If all this is a fancy search, then it's not interesting. If all that these large language models and the apps that sit on top of them are just a fancy search, then we haven't really moved the ball very much. There are great uses for that, but I want you to think beyond it. Okay. AI simply is infused everywhere. One of the numbers, and I apologize in advance to John Lovelock if I get this wrong, because I just saw it. We project that by 2030, every dollar of IT spend will have an AI component. By 2030, every dollar of IT spend will have an AI component. All right. The types of things, of course, you're going to gain as value from using Gen AI you see here. So productivity is the least of these. It's really important, but there are other things too, like improving the actual business itself. And this is where it gets hard because there aren't a lot of great examples yet. If you have them, share them with each other, the examples. All right. Constantly balancing this risk and reward. Again, the reason many of you probably have hesitated a bit on your pilots is because you haven't quite gotten comfortable with the risk side of this yet. And it could be hallucination, it could be bias, it could be all of those things that we've talked about, leakage of IP, places you don't feel you have control. So you're kind of taking the foot off the gas a little bit. That's okay, right? Trough is where the work begins. All right, I'm going to go a little faster here.